beautiful people, it's Bridgette. Welcome back to my channel. I know I look funny, but today we're doing a full face of ShopMissA makeup. Almost. So today I have a whole bunch of ShopMissA things, which is like a really cheap, cruelty-free makeup site. Like everything's like $1 mostly. The eyeshadow palettes wasn't $1, and a couple other things weren't. But mostly they sell dollar makeup. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so I'm going to pull my hair out of my face so we don't get anything in my hair. And thank you guys so much for 75,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. You don't even know. Like, I legit almost cried last night when we hit it. Because it's just amazing. Thank you guys so much. So let's go ahead and get started with the makeup so I don't get all like sappy about it. First thing we have here is, well, actually let me show you what products I have. So I bought the primer, which is a poreless primer. We have a Studio Perfect setting powder. We have another pressed powder, which I'm going to use as a bronzer, hopefully. And then we have a Fat Lash mascara, a little Perfect blush, a Paw Paw Edition Super Soft Wonder Blender, which I think is pretty cute. We also have a liquid lipstick here, which reminds me of like the ColourPop packaging a little bit. We have a brow pomade. It's a Wonder Brow. A cupcake highlighter, this little makeup bag because I had a cute dog on it and I thought it was cute, and then the most expensive thing from this haul, which was an eyeshadow palette, which was a bunch of singles. They came individually wrapped and I just put them in the palette that they sent for free. So yeah, it was like I think it was like a $12 eyeshadow palette, but you'd like assemble it yourself, which was kind of weird, but I kind of like the aesthetic of it. So let's go ahead and get started with primer. Alright, so this is a poreless Wonder Skin primer. And it doesn't really say anything about like what it is. It just says it's a smoothing canvas and it's clear, so I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like a silicone based primer, but I'm not entirely sure, so let's try it out. It kind of feels like a gel, not a silicone. It's like a liquidy, it's pretty liquidy, but it has like a little bit of a weird consistency to it, so we'll see. Hopefully none of this stuff breaks my skin out, because I didn't even think about that until now. This kind of smells like watered down hand sanitizer, to be honest. I don't recommend the smell of this. Now, because the foundations and primers that they had were not at all good shade ranges and they looked really yellow, even the lightest shade, I am going to use my ColourPop foundation and my Tarte Shape Tape with the sponge. Now, I got the Paw Paw sponge because they donate 55 cents to an animal in need when you get this sponge instead of the regular one. So, of course, I got this one. And we're going to use this sponge, so I'm going to do this. And we'll talk about the sponge after I'm done, and we'll set it with their powder. Alright, so let's try out this setting powder now. So I got the shade Soft Light because it's their lightest one. And I'm just going to set it like normal. Like I'm going to use the sponge to set my under eyes and like a brush to set the rest of my face, which is what I normally do. It's actually a little bit difficult to get enough powder shaken to the top of this thing. The sponge itself is fine, like it's normal. It's a little bit softer than I'm used to, which was kind of freaking weird, but it's like, it's a blending sponge. It's not like the best, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I hate it so much. Okay, so I just set my face, and here are my thoughts on everything so far. Primer, kind of smell like liquefied hand sanitizer, not the biggest fan. The blending brush, pretty good. Like if you just want to spend $1 on a blending brush, don't want to get like a $20 beauty blender, does the job. It does soak up quite a lot of product, but that's the only like thing. Setting powder, I actually kind of like it. It is, it's not as good as like a high-end fancy powder because, you know, it does enhance texture and like a lot of other things don't. So I do see a lot of texture on my face, but I also think like did a pretty good job. Like I'm not mad at it. Like if I run out of my setting powder, I'll happily use this. Did a pretty good job. It's very finely milled. Like pretty good setting powder, honestly. So let me go ahead and set my face because I always set it after powder, and then we'll start bronzing. So for bronzer, we have the LOL Lots of Love face powder. It's a little messy in there, and this is a shade medium, so it's 02 medium. It looks pretty light to be a medium shade, but so this is the powder. It's a pretty decent pan size. And I'm just gonna bronze my skin. Okay, so I'm not a fan of this. I just feel like my face looks a little more red now, and it doesn't need to look a little more red ever. So like, this wasn't my favorite, but the setting powder a minute ago was actually pretty good. So if you had to pick one of the powders, I'd pick the setting powder. Let's go on to brows now. Now I did order this like 2 weeks ago, maybe more than 2 weeks ago. So I had darker hair when I ordered this. So I have the Wonder Brow Tinted Brow Pomade in the color Ebony. So we're gonna have dark brows today. I'm really gonna try to spread the product out so it doesn't look crazy against this hair color. But this is what I got, so this is what we're using. This is what the pomade looks like. It's just a tiny little thing. It's not like the smallest thing I've ever seen, but it looks like a baked gel eyeliner on the top. Like, it doesn't look like a brow product. It's got like this shiny foam on the top of it. It makes me think it's going to be like an eyeliner. Alright, so I have my first brow on. I don't like the brow shape, but I don't usually do my brows in this room, so I feel like that's throwing me off a little bit. But overall, the brow pomade worked pretty decently. I don't think it's the most matte pomade in the world. But overall, like, spreading it out and trying to make it not look super, super black, I don't think it was that dark to begin with, honestly. Like, it looks pitch black in the container, but it's not really that dark of a pomade. But overall, like, pretty decent, so I'm going to do the other brow now. So I did my brow, the other brow, and I contoured a little bit because I don't have a contour powder from ShopMissA and I forgot to get one. I'm very sorry. So the brows are distant cousins, but overall the pomade was pretty good. Like, no complaints here. It's a little less matte than I would like, but other than that, spread it out pretty evenly. I was nice, even color here. Got them light enough where it didn't look super, super dark. And the other thing I'm noticing is I think I hate that primer. Like, other than the fact that it smells like diluted hand sanitizer, I just see every thing on my face. Like, I'm really seeing the redness coming through. My foundation never normally does that, so I'm thinking maybe the primer like messed with it. I'm not feeling great about this look so far. So let's move on to blush. This is the AOA Perfect Blush in the shade Looker. I like it. It's pretty cute looking, and this is what it looks like. It was kind of hard to pick out the color online, and I'm going to use the Real Techniques little cheek brush. It's stupid pigmented, so I'm gonna tap it off in my hand. We'll see how it applies. Okay, maybe I'm not gonna tap off the excess because I don't see anything. Alright, so for the blush, it's pretty decent. It's very pigmented as long as you don't tap off the excess. Once I tapped off the excess, I didn't get any product out of it or like any pigmentation out of it. But now I feel like I have a little bit too much blush on, but it's alright. So this is the Wonder AOA Baked Highlighter, and this is in the shade Cupcake. Again, I was like kind of torn between a couple highlights for this, but I went with this one. It came like a little bit broken on the side, but overall like a good size amount of product in here. So let's give it a shot. It's like a light pink. Hey. Is it no for a Jeffree Star highlighter? No, but it was $1. That's good. Make sure you're not wearing black when you use this highlighter though, because it is like flying through the air. So putting it on my cheek, it's making a mess in the pan too. Just make sure you're not wearing black or black leggings with powder's gonna fall over. Like I am totally not doing right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little concealer on my lid for our eye makeup. Okay, so I have concealer over the lid and we haven't set it. This does not come with a light matte base, so I can't really set it, but I am going to go ahead and put this color over my crease. I'll leave the name of the shadow on the screen for you, because I can't see it right now. I don't know what order these are supposed to be in, that were on the picture on the website, but they came individually wrapped, so I put them in this order. I'm just going to set the crease area with this brown. I like a cool brown in the crease anyways. Now for the outer crease, I'm going to put this dark matte brown in there. Just darken up the outer corner. The first color, pretty decent. I wish it was more pigmented, especially because this palette was like the same price as a ColourPop palette. but like there is color there. And then this color right here is there too, just not as dark as it looks in the pan. Like, look how dark that is. And I keep adding more to this, and it's still kind of dusty. So for the inner lid area, I'm going to take this shimmer. And since our concealer is still there and it's not set, hopefully this applies well. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat, me putting my brush into this shimmer, it's getting like a weird... Let's see if I can show you. It's getting a weird texture on the top. Like it... Putting my face up here to do this, I kind of smell just like baby powder a little bit. And then I'm going to clean off that brush and go into our next shimmer, which is going to be this pink. I like this pink color. We use that for the outer lid. This one's not doing that weird film on the top of the pan thing like that first shimmer did. Okay, so I put a little more of that first shade to like blend the colors together. On the top, I'm not a fan. I kind of like the cool matte brown that we used first. That was pretty decent. This did build up to being darker, but it's still just like kind of smoky and not as deep as this color, no matter how much I built it up. This one has that weird film on the top, so I feel like I got off the first shimmery layer and then there's like just this underneath. The pink was actually pretty decent. It just came off a lot lighter and a lot less pink on the eye, but this one didn't get a weird film on it and it's pretty decent. So it's like kind of inconsistent with these shadows. So let's do the lower lash line now. I'm going to take this green shade for the outer corner of the lower lash line, and then we'll move on to this yellow because I wanted the one with the yellow in it. And we're going to do that for the whole underside of the lower lash line other than the outer corner. This green's pretty pigmented. Alright, so here's my consensus of the eyeshadows. Not a fan of the shimmers. Mattes are good, it's just that the one dark matte wasn't that dark. The green and the yellow one I used for lower lash line, fantastic, very bold, very minimal fallout with those shades. Like the mattes in this palette are good. It's the shimmers I don't like, which normally it's the opposite. Normally the shimmers are the easiest ones for people to formulate, but I don't know. I am going to use the mascara now, and let's see how I like this. I did curl my lashes prior to filming today though, so that's good. This is what the wand looks like, and let's try it out. Okay, mascara review. I don't like it at all. There's a lot of better $1 mascaras out there. This did not add any volume or length. It just made my eyelashes slightly darker and they still look really thin. So like this fat lash it's called. Not a fan of, but I'm going to go put on lashes now because I always do. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back with eyelashes on and I put a little bit of inner corner highlight on as well. So let's move on to lipstick, because I think that's the last thing we have to try, honestly, and then we'll go over a whole review of like what I thought of everything. So let's try this lipstick. This is the shade Extra, and it reminds me of Catnip in the Tube by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So hopefully, this also, I want to point out, this packaging reminds me of ColourPop, but this cap doesn't feel very secure. I'm gonna be quiet for a second so you can hear what sound it makes. It just kind of jingles around in here before you twist it. So let's try out the color. Alright guys, so this is the lipstick already dried down. I'll get up close so you can see what it looks like. Alright, so overall, the lipstick is a little bit streaky. I tried to finesse it extra a bit, but you can kind of see through it a little bit. Overall, though, the color is fantastic and it doesn't feel uncomfortable, like it dried down perfectly matte. It's very comfortable to wear, not very drying to the lips, like I'm very into it. I just would finesse it some more probably. But let's go over my final thoughts on ShopMissA and all these products overall. Okay, so first things first, the primer I definitely wouldn't recommend. It smells like hand sanitizer watered down, and I feel like it didn't do anything good for my skin, but like the blurring, you know, it's just kind of like a weird substancey liquid. Wouldn't recommend this, but there are a lot of other good affordable primer options, so this one I would skip. For the blender, I like it. It's just a lot more soft than I'm used to, and it's actually a lot bigger than most beauty blenders when they're wet. Like, it's very big and fluffy. I like that they donate 55 cents to an animal in need, which is really great. So if you're interested in this, not a bad sponge. Like, it's a lot better than other sponges I've tried that are dupes for a beauty blender that are $1. This one's a lot softer. I found a lot of cheaper beauty blender dupes are very hard in substance, so this one's kind of refreshing. It's kind of good. Just a very, very pointy tip on the end. And then let's talk about next, we had the setting powder. Setting powder is really good. It does enhance texture a little bit. It's something I'm not a fan of. But overall, at the end of the day, when your face is all said and done, like, it looks pretty good. And it was actually really easy to work with. Other than shaking a ton on the lid was a little bit difficult. You could always, like, cut the sifter, make it a little easier on yourself. But, like, setting under the eyes with the sponge and the powder, amazing. And it was really easy to work with because it was very finely milled. So this is definitely, like, a good product I would definitely test out if you're looking for a new setting powder. The bronzer I wouldn't recommend. I feel like it just kind of wasn't my favorite in the world. The blush is good as long as you don't tap off the excess. You tap off the excess, you kind of lose the product. But a little goes a long way, and I feel like it looks very nice and blushy. The highlighter, wha-bam, takes more building up than like a more high-end highlighter, but for $1, this is better to me than an e.l.f. highlighter. It's around the same quality as, I'd say, a Wet n Wild highlight, but a Wet n Wild highlight doesn't take as much building up. But like overall, like for $1, this is a really good purchase, and it's really pretty. Again, this is the shade Cupcake. It's supposed to be like a champagne-y pink color. It just comes off as a light pink on the cheek, and that looks amazing the more I look at it. After that, what did we try? Oh, I forgot. The brow pomade. Really good product. Like, it's not the most matte in the world, and it's not the color it said it was, which is a black, but I like it. It's kind of cute, compact. If I was going to travel, I'd probably consider taking this with me because it's taking up 0 space. The mascara, not a fan of. There are better, cheaper mascaras out there than this. Fat Lash didn't do anything for my lashes, so make them a little more tinted. The I'm a Beach eyeshadow palette. I like the mattes. The mattes are good. Like the two under the lower lash line are really pretty, and I like the soft matte we put over the crease. The shimmers, I'm not a big fan of. They're just kind of like a shimmery layer on the top, then kind of like a weird substance underneath of them. I didn't try all of them, but I'll insert some swatches right now so you can see what they look like swatched out. They are really pretty. I'm a huge fan of the yellow and green color in here and the soft matte. So yeah, pretty good palette. I like single shadows put in the magnetic palette lately, so this one's definitely cute. The liquid lipstick, super comfortable actually. Like, it's a little streaky. Yes, it's not the most beautiful lipstick I've ever seen in the world. Like, I would still probably finesse for a couple minutes after it dries down. Dry down pretty fast. I like the color, and it's very comfortable. Like, very comfortable. It's actually not drying to the lips at all, which I'm kind of surprised because a lot of cheaper liquid lipsticks do like feel like they're suffocating your lips, and this is actually like, I'd wear this all the time. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This is my second time ever shopping from ShopMissA. The first time I ordered was on Black Friday, and I ordered 2 empty magnetic palettes just like this, and one of them came broken from the inside, so that was kind of a bummer, but they refunded me like immediately, so that was pretty cool. And then I got to use that credit for this order, but the thing is, you can't like get refunds. Like, I say I got a refund, but they just sent me like a coupon code for the amount of money I spent on the broken product in store credit. So like, it was a $3 palette, I got $3 in store credit. I would like a refund, but since it's such a small amount of money each one of these things costs, I'm kind of okay with the store credit because, I mean, I liked the palettes. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. A lot of these things I definitely would try out, especially for the price. And then I saw like one day last week they were doing free shipping too, so like everything's $1, they have free shipping sometimes. Definitely check them out and see what you think. Yeah, overall, I think my favorite things in this are the lipstick and the highlighter. The highlighter is bomb, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. If you have tried ShopMissA and you like it or you don't like it, please let me know down below. And I will see you guys in my next video, which might not be tomorrow because it's Christmas Eve. But if you guys want a Christmas Eve video, let me know and I'll see if I can film one.